Live from KSAT 12, Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Welcome back. 8 a.m. here on your Sunday morning. GMSA, joined by Sarah Spivey.
Happy to have you here on the desk.
Happy to be
Devin.
here with you. Yeah, things.
It's going to be a hot day.
Yeah,
it really is.
Triple digits again.
Yep, triple digits again, but there is going to be another window for a few showers and storms. Not as much as yesterday, but still the potential.
Yeah.
It was nice and cool this morning in the hill country.
Yeah.
Only got down into the 60s there. 67 right now in Kerrville, 68 in Bernie, it's 75 in San Antonio. We got down to about 73, 72, 73 in New Braunfels, 77 in Seguin, 71 in Uvalde. We are going to heat up, and there is a potential for a couple of showers. Here's a look at rainfall totals in the last 24 hours. Again, we had quite a bit of rainfall up across the hill country and pockets of 1 to 2 inches of rain around San Antonio. You can see, though, that many people did miss out on the rain. And looking ahead to today, there's going to be slightly less coverage of the rain, but a chance for a few downpours, pretty much from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. during the peak heat of the day. Otherwise, it's going to be hot. 101 for the high temperature, our 5th triple-digit day in a row. I'll give you more details about today's rain chances, including a rain chance tomorrow, and a look ahead to our hottest week so far this year. Details soon. Devin.
Thanks. This morning, we know the name of motorcyclist who died after crashing into an SUV. It happened on July 31st over on San Antonio's far west side. Ian Garcia, 23, was killed when the SUV tried to make a left turn. He hit in front of him. He was thrown from his bike into a neighbor's yard and died at the scene. The SUV's driver and passenger had minor injuries. Witnesses said speeding might have played a role. Police are still investigating, but so far, no charges have been filed. Well, earlier this week, a San Antonio mother went viral on TikTok after an incident at the San Antonio Aquarium. That's where an octopus latched onto her son's arm and wouldn't let go. While the boy does have some marks from the incident, as you can see there, the aquarium is saying the animal meant no harm. So let's rewind a bit and take a look from the beginning. Brittany Taryn posted the videos after the incident on July 14th, in which she said the aquarium's octopus attacked her 6-year-old son. The boy was left with suction bruises up to his armpit, as you can see there, after the animal was pulled off of him by staff. Now Taryn says she's advocating for better treatment of the animals over at the aquarium. We reached out to the aquarium and they sent us this statement yesterday that reads in part, quote, "Interactions are strictly allowed only with staff supervision. In this case, the guest leaned over her child over the exhibit barrier, allowing him to reach into the habitat without staff supervision. The octopus displayed typical curious behavior by touching and holding the child's arm." Adding, quote, "At no point was the octopus aggressive or attempting to harm the child." It's important to mention this isn't the first controversy at the aquarium. In 2018, a group stole a shark from there that was then returned. That same year, the aquarium was briefly closed due to a fire hazard. And in 2020, it was shut down after allowing guests in during the COVID-19 pandemic. Well, the Bexar County Sheriff's Office needs your help finding this man right here. He believes to be a risk to his own health and should not be approached. He went missing in the Alamo Ranch area. This is Robert Jones III, 49, and he was last seen around 6 Friday night by a neighbor between Culebra Road and Alamo Ranch Parkway. According to DPS, Jones is believed to be in a black F-150 pickup truck with Arizona license plates. They add his truck has a custom front grille guard and U.S. Marine stickers on the rear windshield. If you see him, you're asked to call the BCSO at 210-335-6000. Well, this morning, there's concerns about price hikes amid uncertainty following tariffs implemented by President Trump. This happens as companies are planning to increase prices on goods to offset those rising costs. Plus, the markets falling on Friday followed the president's decision to raise import taxes on nearly 70 countries in a weaker than expected jobs report. ABC's Johnny Fernandez has reactions.
As back-to-school shopping kicks into high gear, concerns about price increases after President Trump announced sweeping new tariffs set to take effect August 7th.
I'm definitely seeing an increase in the prices. The tariffs are definitely a little scary, so I'm trying to get everything ahead of time.
These tariffs would raise import taxes on nearly 70 countries. Every country will face tariffs of at least 10%, some as high as 40%. Mexico is getting a 90-day grace period, but will still face 25% tariffs. In China, talks are ongoing. Current tariffs remain at 30%. American companies say they're passing on rising prices to consumers. Ford estimates the tariffs will cost them $2 billion this year. Procter & Gamble, which makes everything from toothpaste to detergent, says it's raising prices on 25% of its products.
High tariffs are a tax on the American people. The high tariffs increase the cost of doing business inside the United States.
The tariffs following a weaker than expected jobs report Friday, which signal the labor market is weakening. The president furious, claiming without evidence that the job data released by the Bureau of Labor Statistics was, quote, rigged to make him look bad. He then fired the agency's commissioner, Erica McIntyre.
I fired her. And you know what? I did the right thing.
Her predecessor, appointed by President Trump in his first term, says the president's claims are baseless. The president also taking aim at Fed Chair Jerome Powell after the central bank decided not to lower interest rates last week. In an interview with Newsmax, President Trump said he would remove Powell, but that would disrupt the markets, adding his term ends next year.
Powell has said he believes that the best approach is to wait and see the impact of Trump's tariff strategy before cutting rates. Johnny Fernandez, ABC News, New York.
Brian Kohberger, who pled guilty to killing 4 University of Idaho students back in 2022, has been moved to solitary confinement. The Idaho Department of Corrections calls it, quote, long-term restrictive housing, meaning he's in a single cell with 1 hour outside and showers every other day. Last year, inmates held a hunger strike over solitary conditions, claiming the recreation areas were unsanitary, but officials say they're cleaned regularly. Kohberger is serving life without parole and has never revealed his motive. Senate Democrats tried to push a bill to force the Justice Department to release all documents on the Epstein files. They wanted it to pass without debate, but Republican Senator John Barrasso stepped in and stopped it. He reminded them that they had a chance earlier this week to include it in a spending bill, but they blocked that move. So for now, the files will stay under wraps. Well, a Texas House panel advanced a redrawn congressional map that could take several Democratic seats. The Texas Redistricting Committee voted along party lines to approve the map, which was unveiled earlier last week. It attempts to make 5 Democratic congressional seats more favorable to Republicans. Texas Republicans say the current maps are unconstitutional and racially gerrymandered. Democrats have said it would suppress the votes of people of color. The chair of the Texas Democratic Party says the party will file a lawsuit if the map passes. A vote by the full House could come as early as next week. The redistricting effort is backed by President Trump as a way to help Republicans maintain control of the U.S. House in the 2026 midterm elections. Trump has not weighed in on the proposed map. All right, time right now coming up here at 8:08 in San Antonio, 75 degrees outside. Coming up next, a family's heartfelt mission to bring back the spots kids love after the floods. Plus,
Outside, we have got beautiful clear skies to start our day. But once again, there's a window for rain later on. I'll have details soon.
welcome back. Texas, you're not alone, but some doctors are urging you to think twice before reaching for the allergy drug diphenhydramine, better known as Benadryl. A review published earlier this year by allergy experts from 2 universities calls the medication outdated and potentially dangerous. They say safer options like Claritin and Allegra are available, and at the very least, the experts recommend moving Benadryl behind the pharmacy counter. The review points out that Benadryl and similar drugs can cause sedation, cognitive issues, and in some cases, serious heart problems. Always make sure to follow the label's directions and warnings before using it. Well, over the past 4 weeks, the Hill Country has been resilient, volunteering and supporting the people impacted in any way they can. But those floods washed away many of the public places that kids would hang out at. Zaria Oates share how one family is giving back to kids and parents in Kerr County after so many places have been destroyed.
Hi.
What's your name?
Ellie.
This is 6-year-old Ellie and her mom, Alyssa. Together, they've been making sure the spark in Kerrville doesn't go out, despite how difficult the past few weeks have been.
I miss it.
Ellie's feelings are shared by a lot of the kiddos in the Hill Country.
I miss the splash pad.
Everything that we used to do for free is gone.
The July 4th floods didn't spare much in Kerr County.
The river is gone, our playgrounds were wiped away, our You can't go biking on our trails. Trails are closed down.
So Alyssa Chavez, a stay-at-home mom in the Hill Country, took it upon herself to give the kids of Kerr County a little bit of hope at a time of uncertainty.
I posted on Facebook, hey, does anyone have a space that we could host these little kid get-togethers? And it just blew up. My friend Kayla, this is her dance studio. She was so willing to just throw me in here.
In the days and weeks following July 4th, this dance studio turned into a part-time safe haven for the families impacted by the floods.
We really just encourage the active play of everything.
This past week, they even had an event at a local shop in town whose owner was directly impacted by the floods.
A wonderful lady who owns the Fancy Finch Tea Cottage here in Ingram, Texas, she lost everything, and she's actually living in an RV. For her to offer something, her space, to us and to these kids, it's a reflection of who our community is.
I had blueberry tea with ice in it.
These events for kids and their parents aren't stopping anytime soon.
We actually just saw that quite a few of our Amazon wishlist items were purchased, one of them being a bounce house, which we're so excited about. On Tuesday, we are having a build your own trucker hat, kind of customize it with mocktails that's being sponsored by a local mocktail company.
Safe to say the kids of Kerr County are making the most out of a tough situation. Zaria Oates, KSAT, 12 News.
Solid high five there, by the way, by Zaria.
Absolutely.
Good to see.
Great to
people
see the
stepping up.
community.
Yeah,
coming
right.
together.
I mean, if anyone, you can definitely understand how helpful it is to have childcare out there. Having
my
a lot of that
goodness.
work. People
Absolutely.
taking care of the kiddos, making sure they have good spaces.
Totally. And we did see some rain yesterday, Devin. Take a look at your screen. I want to show in some of the pictures that have come into KSAT Connect.
Wow.
This is the definition of localized downpours, right? You can see the rain on the left-hand side of your screen, blue skies on the right-hand side of your screen. This is also a great indication of the kind of rain we could see later on today, where you get localized heavy downpours while some people miss out. And here's a look at the rainfall totals over the last 24 hours. You can see that there were some neighborhoods, particularly in Kerr County and south of Comfort, that saw 2 to 3 inches of rain. That's where this yellow-orange color is. There was even briefly a flood warning for the Guadalupe River nearer to Hunt, but thankfully it never reached flood stage. It just went up a couple of feet. As we take a look around San Antonio, little bit more localized, but near the Helotes area, there was easily about ½ an inch to an inch of rain there and near Leon Valley. But near Marion, up to about 3 inches of rain. Just to the east of Lavernia, up to about 3 inches of rain as well. But then there are many areas that missed out completely on the rainfall. Today we're going to have a 30% chance for downpours. So less coverage than what we saw yesterday, but at around the same time. So 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. during the peak heat of the day, a couple of spotty downpours will be possible. The reason for this, there's a high pressure system all the way over the desert southwest. I want you to pay close attention to the complex of showers and storms in Oklahoma. Notice how this is riding the upper level winds here. This high pressure system is enough to the west of us to open up the atmosphere to a few pop-up downpours. And you can see that in the futurecast this afternoon. That is going to be possible. Again, about 30% chance. But late tonight, we have to watch what develops in North Texas. This is a look at 2 o'clock in the morning. We have to watch very carefully because whatever develops in North Texas will move south. Whether or not it makes it to San Antonio, there's a 30% chance of that happening. So today and tomorrow, 30% chance for a few showers and storms, pockets of 1 to 2 inches of rain. There could be some minor, very localized street flooding issues, but no catastrophic flooding. And like yesterday, too, there were some gusty winds with storms. So if you get a storm, you could easily see wind gusts of 40-45 miles per hour, which is pretty gusty. Otherwise, outside right now, it's pleasant. It's 75 in San Antonio, 76 at Stinson, only 68 in Bernie and 67 in Kerrville. We are going to warm up quickly. We'll already be in the low 90s by noon. And then in the afternoon, 101 for the high with a 30% chance for downpours, and we'll be near 90 degrees after sunset. So 30% chance, 101 for the high. It is going to be a hot day, our 5th triple-digit day in a row. It'll be 103 in Del Rio, 104 in Cotulla, 106 in Laredo, 100 in New Braunfels, and 96 96 in Kerrville, 98 in Austin. Looking ahead, there's a 30% chance tomorrow for a few downpours, and then we'll have a decent shot at our hottest we've been so far this year. Consecutively, every day will be near 100 degrees, even up to 102 on Friday. Coming up, we'll take a look at this year compared to summers past, and I'll have a check of the tropics. We're starting to get into the peak of Atlantic hurricane season.
Oof. All right. Sounds good. Thanks for keeping us informed, Sarah.
Yeah, even if it's bad news, right? Heat, got to do it.
Rather know about it than not.
That's true.
Awesome. All right, time right now coming up here on 8:19, 75 degrees outside in San Antonio. Hey, coming up next, we've got some more here for GMSA after the break. Welcome back to GMSA. If you're looking for something to do with fun with the family right now, then we've got the Pearls Farmers Market that's going on right over there just near downtown. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. I know they've extended some of their summer hours now. Now they're going to start here coming up at 9 a.m. going on until later today. You can see they've still got some of the booths. People are still getting ready, so you got a little bit of time if you're going out there. But so far, it's been a pretty cool morning. All the Pearl Farmers Market vendors are located within a 150-mile radius of San Antonio, providing fresh, local, and seasonal products that they themselves are the ones who have planted, raised, and harvested. The farmers market is held every Saturday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. and every Sunday in the summer, happening right now, from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. and in the fall, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Take a look at some of those people. We'll see if we can get photojournalist Alexis to bring back any sweet treats from over there. Looks like it's pretty good. All right, happening today, Summer Nights at the Rim. Tonight's show, A Country Heart Texas Strong. It's a local country showcase and benefit night where a portion of the proceeds are going to support the Christian Assistance Ministries in Kerr County. Texas country artists Gunnar Latham, Clay Hollis, Isaac Jacob, Matt Castillo, and the Teague brothers are all going to be performing live. The concerts are going to be held at the former Rustic location inside the Rim Shopping Center. Doors open at 4 p.m. and all ages are welcome. You can head over to our website, KSAT.com, where we've got that link up to buy tickets. And we're getting to that time of year again, folks. Tax-free weekend is coming up this next weekend. From August 8th through August 10th, you can save on school supplies, clothing, backpacks, and shoes, all without paying sales tax. Qualifying items can be purchased from a Texas store or online from a business in the state. Coming up here, time now 8:24, 75 degrees outside in San Antonio. Coming up, the hidden cancer risks firefighters face every day and how new safety measures are making a difference. Plus, a neighborhood shocked by hateful graffiti and the kids who stepped up to help clean it up. That's coming up next. All right, welcome back to GMSA. Coming up here on 8:30 in a little bit, hanging out with Sarah this morning. It's been a good time.
Happy to have you. What did you do with your Saturday after you were done with work yesterday?
I went to the gym with my girlfriend. Nice. We ended up making some vegetable shakes. We watched a little bit of our favorite podcast. It was pretty good.
Okay,
nice
these are two words that I didn't think went together. Vegetable shakes.
Yeah.
You know, usually when I think shakes, I think like, vanilla, chocolate.
Oh, no, they're healthy.
Shake.
They don't taste the best. They're like 90% spinach, but
Hey, okay. Well, that sounds wonderful for you guys. We went to the pool.
Yeah, I saw that.
I knew that there was a chance for rain, so we went a little bit earlier in the day. And today there's going to be a chance for rain as well. Pretty much at the same time, but less coverage than yesterday.
Gotcha.
Otherwise, it's going to be hot. Take a look at these highs. 101 in San Antonio, 103 in Del Rio, 104 in Cotulla. It'll be 106 in Laredo, 100 in New Braunfels, and in the Hill Country, expect the upper 90s. Today will be our 9th 100-degree day. So far, we've had 8 triple-digit days. Not bad compared to last year when we had 27, especially not bad compared to 2023, our most triple-digit days on record at 75. In 2022, 58 100-degree days, 2 brutal summers back-to-back, 2022, 2023. But it was just back in 2021 that we had a pretty mild summer with only 3 triple-digit days. On average, each year, we see about 18 triple-digit days. We could easily get to that this year because we do expect a few more 100-degree days as we start August. But looking ahead to today, 30% chance from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. for you to see rain in your backyard, just like yesterday. There is a slight risk for a few things. We'll talk about that coming up in just a bit. Devin.
Thank you, Sarah. Well, just 24 hours ago, a neighborhood woke up to racial slurs, anti-Semitic rhetoric, and graphic drawings on houses, cars. San Antonio police say those responsible for the vandalism are all under the age of 15. And we're about to show you some of the charges they could face and how the neighborhood is coming together to clean up the mess. On Saturday mornings, Matthew likes to try and catch some extra sleep after a long week, but instead...
Somebody kept banging on the door, and it was the police, and they were like, hey, your vehicle's been, involved in some kind of activity with graffiti and stuff, and are you aware of that? And I was like, no, this is new to me.
Neighbors in the Castle Hill Forest area woke up to a colorful scene, but not a welcome one. San Antonio police say a group of 4 juveniles under 15 decided to spray paint anti-Semitic rhetoric, slurs, and graphic imagery on cars, fences, houses, even throwing a rock through a window of one home.
It's a work truck, so I don't really care. I'd rather not have pink graffiti on it.
Matthew had 2 of his trucks hit with curse words, graphic imagery, and a slur. But fortunately, a separate group of kids in the neighborhood showed up and helped him buff it out.
WD-40 works great, actually, and it's a little messy, but it worked good for the most part, and it got a lot of this stuff out of here.
In total, 3 cars and 20 people have been identified as victims. San Antonio police say it's being investigated as a hate crime.
They don't know what it was like going up in the 90s or 2000s. It was just different.
Matthew says he had a lot of free time growing up during the summer, but never resorted to something like this.
We'd be in the cul-de-sac shooting hoops or doing something outside. Nowadays, there's too much brain rot.
Thankfully, he thinks a good car wash should get the rest off. Would you say anything to him if you ever saw him again?
I just feel bad for the parents because they're in a lot of trouble.
Devin Karp, KSAT 12 News.
A San Antonio man was found guilty of 20 counts of possession of child sexual abuse material, according to some court records we obtained. This right here is 80-year-old Ramsey Joshua Clark. Clark was in possession of the illegal photos and videos in July 2022 and was arrested in September on 3 counts, the Attorney General's office said. A social media account linked to Clark was reported to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children's cyber tip line, and he later confessed to owning and viewing the materials. Court records show that Clark legally changed his name in 2019 from Leonard Freeman. As Leonard Freeman, he was convicted of murder with malice aforethought in 1983 and burglary with intent to commit theft in 1966. Clark was released on bond during his trial, which started Tuesday, but was taken into custody Friday after a Bexar County jury found him guilty. Sentencing is scheduled for October. Well, firefighters put their lives on the line anytime they answer a call for help. But a new study suggests that by doing their job, they may be putting their own health at risk. According to the research, firefighters have higher death rates from several forms of cancer. Stephanie Stahl has the details.
Firefighters in Deptford always ready for a job where they risk their lives to keep us safe.
There is good days and bad days, but most firefighters say it's the best job in the world, and it truly is.
In addition to the risks that come with fighting fires, new research confirms in more detail deaths from cancer.
More and more they're exposed to really greater toxicity in the atmosphere.
Dr. William Dayhut with the American Cancer Society says the new research covered almost 500,000 firefighters over 36 years. It found firefighters had death rates from skin cancer 58% higher than non-firefighters and a 40% higher risk from kidney cancer. Deaths from lung, prostate, and colorectal cancers were found with firefighters who had decades of service.
Some of the things that are greater risk may actually be in the materials that they use to protect themselves.
The foam inside the truck causes cancer.
Captain Alan Bender says carcinogenic material is everywhere, from their fire retardant equipment to material inside burning buildings.
It's scary. A big increase in cancer being undetected and then finding out when it's too late. sadly.
He's relieved New Jersey now offers free cancer screenings, and there's a big emphasis on safety equipment.
So whether it's a car fire, a house on fire, a trash fire, you should have on this mask to protect your airway.
Why?
Absolutely.
Why?
To prevent any carcinogen.
Captain Konstantin Sipsomos says the air mask is critical for fighting fires.
They're putting off a lot of chemicals that are basically the unknown.
Do you feel that you're putting your life in jeopardy?
Sometimes, you know, but it comes with the job.
We're also learning more about a different kind of cancer. Stomach cancer is sometimes called a silent disease. That's because the early stages are easily mistaken for common issues like indigestion or acid reflux. Yolanda Barrera Day was diagnosed with stage 2 stomach cancer during the pandemic. She's in remission now, and in the latest episode of The Conversation, she spoke to our Stefania Jimenez about her mission to bring awareness to the disease. Take a listen.
It was fatigue, right? That kind of alerted me. It was a red flag. But a lot of people that I know, that I've met through this organization and through my efforts to bring awareness to the community, is they have reflux. Well, how many people do you know that say, I just have reflux, I ate something bad, oh gosh, I must have eaten something bad. No, reflux is a thing for stomach cancer. If it's continuous, if it's bad, if it's so bad that you can't sleep or you can't eat a regular meal without getting sick, check it out.
Yolanda shared her entire journey with our Stefania Jimenez. She's also organizing an event to raise awareness about stomach cancer later this fall. You can watch the latest episode of The Conversation right now on KSAT+. Time right now, 8:36, 75 degrees outside in San Antonio. Well, coming up, $351 million spent to protect our water, but why some are saying a new wastewater plant could put it all at risk. After the break. And lawmakers digging into radio issues during the Hill Country floods, but fixes might come with a big price tag. Stay tuned.
Outside, it is sunny as we're starting off our Sunday, but we will have a few more clouds in the afternoon with a chance for some downpours. Details soon.
Was it a communications breakdown? First responder radio problems supposedly caused communication issues during the floods in the Hill Country. That's what Texas legislators are looking into. We've heard from a new joint committee, heard from lots of first responders during their first meeting, but now lawmakers admit even if they find a solution, it may not be affordable. This is what lawmakers told our Courtney Friedman.
Representative Wes Verdell lives right outside of Kerrville. This tragedy is literally in his backyard. The first responders, his friends.
One of the things that came up was none of their radios were working. As other counties, first responders that had come in and their radios that they had weren't working with each other or with other people from other areas in that area. So
Verdell sat as part of the Texas legislature's joint committee on the flood disaster, where it was clear radios are a major problem.
Here's the thing. In the huge state of Texas, there are more than 60 different safety radio systems set up by local agencies depending on the area's topography. Some of those systems work together, some don't. And even with up-to-date radios, when you travel from one part of the state to another, you can't just jump into any channel or frequency. You often need permission from the local agency.
Bring those disparate radio systems together and patch them together. That takes time for the resources to get to the location, to grab the radio, to hook it up to the computer, to make sure that we get the right channels in it so that we can talk to each other.
During the first day of chaos on July 4th, that patching wasn't able to happen quickly enough.
The Statewide Interoperability Coordinator, or the SWIC, has worked with agencies across the state to recognize the importance of joining wide area radio systems and utilizing multi-band radios. There is an effort to require all future grant-funded equipment to have the correct software features and frequency capabilities.
The problem? The price tag.
These radios are very expensive, and there's really not a mechanism for counties to fund these radios.
I know the governor has a grant program. I think it's underfunded.
Even if grant money was made available, it became clear agencies would have to do lots of training to even get those radios.
Many responders do not have good working knowledge of how or when to change channels or use key features on their radios.
The path to a solution not straightforward, but some committee members are determined to find one.
I don't know what the right answer is there, but I hope to have a better understanding and answer at the end of this.
We got to start somewhere, and today's the day to start. And the next 100-year flood that happens 5 years from now, maybe we got a better shot at communicating.
Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
In the meantime, San Antonio taxpayers, you have spent around $351 million to protect the Edwards Aquifer, where we all get our water. But a proposed wastewater treatment plant could see all that money go to the waste. So the question now is, how is that money spent? The Edwards Aquifer Protection Program buys up easements along the aquifer, preventing development that could potentially contaminate the water. But the Guadalajara Ranch development, which plans to build up there thousands of homes in northwest Bexar County, would require a wastewater plant. Neighbors in that area and researchers say this treated wastewater would go right into the aquifer and make the water undrinkable.
UMass will take the money that they're using and literally flush it down a toilet, because that's what they're doing.
We've tried to contact Leonard Construction multiple times regarding the impacts to the drinking water for this story, and we have not yet heard back. Okay, a lot of talk about water,
Yes.
right? How's it going to look for this afternoon?
We have a rain chance again this afternoon, Devin, but not as much coverage as yesterday.
Gotcha.
So yesterday
Yeah.
we had a decent amount of rain for neighborhoods shortly before sunset, and then with those rain clouds still out there,
Yeah.
it made for a gorgeous sunset.
It was nice
You got
to see.
it?
Yeah.
Here's a look at some pictures from KSAT Connect. This is over
Wow.
Canyon Lake. So you got the beauty of Canyon Lake and the beauty of those clouds there. A gorgeous sunset last night. We'll have to see if we get another beautiful sunset this evening. I want to go ahead and take a look at the rainfall amounts over the last 24 hours. You can see that there really were some bullseye areas. Once again, that western Kirk County area got a bullseye of rain, about 2 to 3 inches of rain between Mountain Home and Ingram. In fact, there was even a flood warning for the Guadalupe. The good news is the Guadalupe did not rise all that much, just by a couple of feet, so it never reached flood stage. Now down south of Comfort, about 2 inches of rain fell there. And then around San Antonio, there was this one area in northeastern Bexar County out toward Marion, Zool, in Guadalupe County that received about 2 inches of rain. Otherwise, there were still some of us who missed out completely on the rainfall. And today there will be a chance for more rain, just less coverage. So let's go ahead and take you through your KSAT 12-hour forecast. Right now we're in the mid 70s. We'll be in the upper 80s by 10, so a quick warm up. Then by noon it'll be 93 degrees outside, and we'll see those puffy cumulus clouds start to develop. It isn't until after 2 p.m. that we have that 30% chance for a stray shower or storm, high temperature of 101. So it's still going to be hot, even though we have a small chance for some afternoon downpours. 101 for the high in San Antonio, our 5th triple-digit day in a row. Why do we have a chance for rain today and tomorrow, and at the same time we're hot? Well, it's the summer, and so the heat high causes us to be hot. That heat high is centered right over the desert southwest, though. And you look at the upper level winds moving in a clockwise fashion around this high. Notice that there's some storms in Oklahoma that are following this upper level wind pattern precisely. So tonight, we're going to have to watch and see whatever develops in North Texas to see if it makes it to San Antonio. So let's take you through the futurecast. This afternoon, as I mentioned, 1 or 2 pop-up downpours. Then late tonight, we're going to be watching up north, because whatever develops out there has the potential, about a 30% chance of making it all the way to San Antonio, the hill country, tomorrow. So today and tomorrow, there's a 30% chance for you to see rain in your backyard. If you get rain, pockets of 1 to 2 inches of rain are possible. This could result in some minor flooding, very localized street flooding issues, nothing catastrophic, just kind of what you typically expect with heavier rain. And then finally, we could see some gusty winds. Yesterday, there were a few wind gusts of up to 45 miles per hour. That's possible with any storms that develop. But again, it's only a 30% chance that you'll see rain in your backyard. Otherwise, it is going to be a hot day today. 101 today in San Antonio, 100 in Bandera, 103 in Castroville and Pleasanton, 101 in Seguin. It's Atlantic hurricane season. It's hurricane season in general, and there is a tropical storm out in the Pacific, Tropical Storm Gil. A couple of other areas have the potential to develop into a tropical storm in the Pacific. And then then out in the Atlantic, there's low in chance of development, and regardless, none of this would really impact San Antonio or Texas. But it is a stark reminder that we are starting to see activity ramp up. Here we are at the early part of August. Atlantic hurricane season peaks typically on September 10th. So we're probably going to start to see some activity pick up here. We'll keep you posted on any and all impacts to the Texas coast. Otherwise, it is going to be a hot week after the rain chance today and tomorrow. High temperatures daily near 100 degrees, even pushing 102 on Friday. So, Devin, so far we've had a pretty mild summer, but this is the time of year where we're typically our hottest, and you can see that we're likely going to have our hottest week so far this year.
So I always like my bottom line, umbrella for today and tomorrow just in case, right?
Yeah.
Sunscreen rest of the week?
I think so. And even today and tomorrow, you want the sunscreen. I think the key thing is if you're going to be enjoying time outdoors by the pool, when thunder roars, go indoors.
Good
There's
call.
that small chance there for a few thunder showers.
Awesome. Sounds good. Thank you, Sarah. Appreciate it. All right, time right now, 8:49, 75 degrees out in San Antonio. We've got more GMSA coming after the break.
Stonehenge, where the demon dwell, where the fight to live and to live well.
Yes, that is Elton John playing alongside Spinal Tap. The performance is an official music video released by the band ahead of the sequel mockumentary Spinal Tap 2: The End Continues, arriving in movie theaters September 12th.
And it's hard to rely on my own good senses when I miss so much that requires attention.
Toad the Wet Sprocket are currently on the concert trail. In addition to traditional tickets, the band offers VIP packages to its fans.
Get people together in a room, and we'll either do it acoustically or we'll do what we're calling a sound check party, where we'll have people come in and we can do a Q&A. They can ask us questions about how we do the show, about certain songs, how songs were written, how we put the show together, how we put the songs together.
We do tour with a lot of density, but we kind of try to pack our season in. I think we're doing about 12 weeks again, and we do usually like a seven-week chunk and then a 4-week, 5-week chunk, and then we get the rest of the year to do other things.
Please note, Glenn was a passenger, not a driver, during this interview. Toad the Wet Sprocket are touring now through mid-October. Country singer Morgan Wade has just released her new album, The Party Is Over, Recovered. The set of 11 new tracks includes this song, High in Your Apartment. In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
All right, shifting gears now. Looking for a new furry friend? Well, you're in good time for it. This month of August is the time to find one with a furry friend fee-waived pet adoptions across San Antonio. That's going to include Animal Care Services, San Antonio Pets Alive, and the Animal Defense League, all clearing the shelters with hundreds of pets ready for homes. You can visit any participating location and give a shelter pet a fresh start and a forever family. It's all part of their Clear the Shelters event running through the whole month. Really great to see some of that. Sarah, how's it looking out there?
Well, the pollen count not so great. After yesterday's rain, we've seen molds spike and climb. Molds are past 1,500 today. That's officially in the high category. As we take a look at the forecast for the rest of the day, we are going to have a small 30% chance for a few showers and storms between 2 p.m. and 8 p.m. and a chance for some rain tomorrow too, about 30%. Otherwise, it is going to be a hot week. Temperatures climbing to 100 degrees every single day. We'll even be near 102 on Friday. So we've put it off as long as we can, but officially we've had 4 triple-digit days in a row. Today will be number 5, and then we're adding on to a triple-digit tally next week as well. So after a pretty mild summer, it looks like August is starting with a bit of a heat wave. Definitely.
Yeah, I know it's better than years past, but still not my favorite thing. Not my favorite thing. But hey, we'll prep with sunscreen, water, everything we need, right?
Absolutely. I think that's great advice. Great to have you on the desk with us.
Thanks for being here, Sarah. Appreciate it. We'll have more coming up later on. Thanks for staying with us.